Okay, I guess we can start rolling already, right? Okay, so how this began was I created this thing called Revelry, which is like a way that I can feature multiple DJs to do events, to throw parties.
Yeah, you guys started off as a collective, right?
Correct.
DJing and stuff.
Correct, exactly. But then the thing is like I realized that DJing alone, right, will not like bring the people. The reason why people go and see a show, right, is because of the artists and the brand they have built behind them.
Yeah.
Like why people pay $300 to see Taylor Swift, you know? It's not because she's playing music, but because she has like a whole arc behind her, a lot of album releases, and it's more than that lah. So every week throwing events, right, it just felt like very repetitive. Like I invite my friends, I feature my friends DJ, repeat. And it's just the same over and over again lah. And then revenue is also dipping. So I kind of like pivoted to like this podcast kind of format, right? Where I can kind of like, without telling people who I am, show who I am kind of thing. Because people are now very captivated by this whole parasocial relationship shit. Look at K-pop.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Like Eminem can drop something, right? You don't even care. You will just play because you got the trust already, you know? That trust.
Right.
Yeah, then 12 episodes in or 10 episodes in, right? Every day I'm just talking to a DJ, right? It's like we are constantly talking about like the problems of DJing and stuff. And it just get super stale lah. So
Becomes
that's
a
where,
bit insular, like it's an inner circle.
yeah, and you are like kind of self, I don't know, what's that word? Like self...
Echo chamber?
Yeah, echo chamber, right?
Yeah.
So by speaking to more people from outside of the industry, right? I soon realized that the problems within the DJ industry is not a problem within the singer industry. They kind of solve that problem in their industry. Then vice versa, you know, within DJ industry, there are some problems that are not a problem, but within singer or rapper, it's a problem. Very good example is YouTube sharing platforms. So I think I spoke to Adventure Time on this. It is very common, right, in the DJing world to have this thing called Trap Nation. I don't know if you know Trap Nation. Trap Nation is the biggest EDM music sharing platform, followed by Spinning Records, Future House Music. So basically, they are big multi-following, multi-subscriber YouTube channel that is like, oh, you got a new song? Okay, I'll post on my own YouTube channel. And then that's how it spreads.
Like cross-pollination.
Yeah, precisely. But you don't see that a lot in like singer kind of thing. And then I think hip-hop is slowly doing it with the Lemonade something.
Lyrical Lemonade.
Yeah, so it's like, I think hip-hop, live music is like starting to like catch on to this like marketing trend that EDM has already, is very widely spread lah. And the result is that all these channels that amass such a huge following just by reposting other people's music, right? They got invited to Tomorrowland, like Selected, which is a house music channel, got invited by Tomorrowland to set up their own Selected side stage. Like, what? You know?
Damn.
Yeah, so there's actually a lot of ways you can go in to like kind of be successful lah. Yeah,
that's true though.
So starting with yourself, right? Are you still pursuing rapping? Because like I see like you kind of like in that limbo state, right?
I think it's I wouldn't call it like, it seems like a limbo state, but I think it's just, I don't want to reveal our age, like you know, but
100 episode, everybody know my age already.
Yeah, but I think like sometimes real life just happens though, right? You know what I mean? But for the most part, like when I take stock of what I've done in my 20s, you know, the stuff that we did together like 10 years ago were highlights, bro. And you think about it, it's these kind of experience that not everybody gets to have. You know what I mean? Like how many people get to even be up on stage? You know, they say public speaking is the fear of so many people. But we did that almost on a nightly basis, right? Yeah, so I think it's a unique experience. And as much as like back in my 20s, I really wanted to pursue rap, you know, but I also didn't want to just be a one-dimensional thing. Of course, like priorities happened, you know, like we get to an age where I need to start making proper money.
Well, we can go into that, man. Why we cannot make proper money in music? It seems like a lot of multifaceted problem.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's I think one thing we all agree is like Singapore is just too small.
This episode of Revelry podcast is brought to you by Revit, my preferred choice of anti-hangover gummies. These honey lemon flavored gummies are made with all natural ingredients to promote liver health and aids in the dissipation of Asian flush. Take 2 gummies before drinking and another 2 after for maximum effect so as to not be bogged down by hangovers the next day. So click the link in the description and use promo code RevelryFam to enjoy a limited time 15% off Revit gummies purchases. And now, back to the show. Yes.
Right? So, and then gigs don't come around, like high-paying gigs don't come around all that often.
Yeah.
Unless, I mean, there are levels to it, bro. Unless, you know, you're like really top tier, you know what I mean? And you're very bankable, you know, commercially friendly. Stuff like, wow, that's a whole other can of worms you can talk about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, we all end up, you know, looking for employment, even though it's not something related to our arts at the beginning.
Yes.
You know, but what I think is about being an artist is we always find a way to come back, bro. You know what I mean? Like, let's say for yourself, you're a DJ.
Yeah.
You know, which in the grand scheme of things is, you know, part of the music umbrella.
Yeah.
Right? So you might not, initially, you know, you might not be making money out of music.
Yep.
But all of us somehow, who are really passionate, find a way to get back into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like COVID killed so many of us.
Yeah.
But somehow the ones that truly passionate, we are still back.
Yeah. So it might not, you know, for some of us, it might not even be return to DJing or return to rapping, but we find a way to be adjacent to it. You know what I mean? So let's say I just use like another musician.
Yeah.
Right? So you might not be back at the scene where you're actually playing music all the time or making money, but you could come back to it by writing about music, by doing reviews. You know what I mean? I guess it's the same way for you, like as, you know, after COVID, after Zook, you found a way to come back to it. Started like Revelry, and then from there it expanded again. You know, I feel like really the most passionate people always find a way to return to something adjacent to what their first love is.
Right? You might not come back as a DJ, you might come back as A&R.
Yeah, exactly.
Something
but
in it.
You're still in music, right? And I think not everybody gets to discover that level of passion.
Yeah.
That's why, like, you know, I have so much respect and admiration for people who discover it so early on in their lives, right? From like their teenage years, they've already been set on that path. Like, yo, this is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
You know, like people like Shiga, right? Like we've seen him grow up. You know, he might have been, I think, 14 when he started rapping, and he's still doing it now.
Yeah.
Right? And I find that, like, I don't know, it's such a unique life to have.
Yeah.
Right? But I think he was lucky to find that passion, but that's only one part of the equation.
Yeah.
He also worked so hard to still be able to do it. You know what I mean? Like, now there are so many talents, right? This next generation of artists, like DJs, they're freaking amazing, bro. I think if we grew up in the same time as the Gen Z artists, bro, they'd give us a run for our money. But that also means we'd step up, right?
We will be pressured to do so many facets of the artist's career, you know.
Yeah.
You need to do our album art, you need to do the music.
Yeah, right?
Everything.
Yeah, man. So I think, you know, we're here, we still find a way to be related to what our first love is. Which is, you know, music, right?
Yeah.
Even if I've been missing for a while, like I was, I work as a writer for sneakers.
Oh. Copywriter, is it?
Um,
Or is it
basically,
review?
I work for at a sneaker company,
Right.
and then they have a content marketing arm. So I'm the media lead for that side of it. So just a lot of like seeing what kind of how the magazine is operating, that kind of stuff. I mean, I've always, bro,
You're a writer by
I've
heart,
always been a lyricist. You know what I mean? The thing I love about rap is really the words. You know what I mean? So to reiterate my point,
Yeah.
I might not be doing music, you know, but I still found a way back to explore my love for words.
Yeah.
Right?
Hone your craft.
Yeah.
Yeah. I often find myself, whenever I speak to someone, right, I am like constantly like filling the gaps in their conversation. They'll be like saying blah, 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 then they will stuck. And then I will fill in the words. So I'm the words guy, you know. But with you, right, it's like so easy. I don't even think so much. You fill in my gaps for me.
That's great, bro. But I wanted to, bro. I really want to compliment you.
Yeah.
Like, bro, you're one of the smartest guys I know. I also know like you're super hardworking. You know, like I was telling you before this, you're the only guy I've ever seen who's studying, doing assignments a few hours before a show, bro. I feel like that really is a testament to just your work ethic. And it's translated to this, you know what I mean? To like over 100 episodes of the podcast.
Yeah.
Right? And like I'm also impressed with, I know you're covering a lot of topics.
Yeah.
Right? There are a lot of podcasts in Singapore, but I feel like the guests that you invite are pretty diverse. And you guys are talking about current affairs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what are the ones I remember? Yeah, you had Lynette, you talked about music, but you also invited people who are into anime.
Oh, yeah.
And then,
you like that?
And then, yeah, you know, and then one of your most recent ones is like nightlife.
Yeah.
Right? The state of nightlife in Singapore.
Yeah.
Right? And to be the common denominator in all those different episodes, I think really is a testament to how good of a host you've become, bro. You know what I mean? Like, you're not just the kind of guy like, oh, I just want to talk about music. You're actually interviewing people and dabbling into subjects that aren't necessarily your expertise.
Yeah.
Right? And you're able to bring out like good answers from the guests that you have, even though you might not be an expert in that subject.
Yeah.
But then again, I know you're a smart guy, man. So I'm sure these kind of things are just, you know, I think the natural curiosity just comes.
Yeah, man. I love podcasts so much, especially COVID, right? It kind of like led to that, right? And then I start watching people like Joe Rogan, Lex Fridman,
Oh, bro,
right?
yeah, man.
I don't understand how these motherfuckers, they know everything, you know? They can like, they can talk to some guy about toothpaste, right? Then start switching the topic to quantum physics. I'm like, how do they even do that? And Joe is like crazy, okay? Joe is like filming 3-4 episodes a week. I'm like, okay, maybe it's his full-time job, right? So maybe...
Yeah. I mean, like, he's a #1 podcaster, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess he speaks a lot about like brain state. His most recent one, I think, is with Magnus Carlsen.
What do you call it? Grandmaster, chess grandmaster.
Undefeated.
Oh, that's
Undefeated.
crazy.
Yeah. Like I think there's a particular question, not during the podcast, right? But they were asking Magnus Carlsen, so if you are second place, right, who do you think is first place? Then he laughed for like 30 seconds because it's impossible for him to be second place.
Do you think, has there ever been where he competed with AI machine?
Yes, he said that he will lose to AI. But then, yeah, because it's, at the end of the day, chess is really like pattern recognition and all that kind of thing, right? Yeah. As a person, maybe you can recognize 20 steps in advance, but AI can calculate all steps in advance, you know? Yeah, so you can't, you know. But I guess chess is really like a measure of like the human spirit, you know, like how far you will go, right?
It's an endurance game as well, do you think?
Yeah. Like he said, his longest match is 8 hours. Like, what the hell?
8 hours on one match?
Yeah, the longest game. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. He's, I think, like three or 4 rounds. Then the last round is 8 hours. So can you imagine how much more time he spent?
And that's all mental energy though, right?
Yeah. So very similar to Joe Rogan, right? He's like, I think now sleep has become the new priority. Because back in the day before AI, right, we are constantly needing to work harder and harder, do more and more stuff. Yeah. But because now AI is like automating a lot of stuff, right? What is the tiebreaker in all of this? It's who is more creative now, right?
Yeah. But that's the thing. Now that you mentioned it, right? Have you incorporated AI into your creative pursuits at all?
Yes. So for music, a bit tougher. Okay, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
for
bring back.
DJ, how does DJ like incorporate AI?
I think a bit difficult. I guess can because there's Spotify DJ now, right? But the mix is not precise. It's not perfect. So they will mix like a 100 BPM thing with 70 BPM. Then you feel very odd in a way. Yeah. But I think DJing is very much like chess. Yes, the robots can definitely do it better than us, right?
Yeah.
But I want to come here and watch you DJ because I want to know your taste. It's like, I come down for you, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, same for rap, same for music. So I think when it comes to DJ producer, how we will use AI, right, is like I want to get like a rap vocal or a singer, but I cannot afford it and I can't sing myself, so I'll use AI, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, to kind of like fill up the gap.
Okay.
Which is why if you look at like a lot of like big EDM producers, right, they don't even put the singer's name. It could have been AI.
Oh, that's how it is.
And then for the longest time, I don't know if you know this Flow Rider song, Right Around. You spin my head.
Yeah.
After a decade, right, we realized that vocal was Kesha. You know the singer Kesha? Yeah. Then she said she don't want to put her name inside there because she don't want to be associated to this genre at that time as she's
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but she's still getting mad royalties at the back. Yeah.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need that one song though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So that's the way I think AI can move forward. And even for this podcast also, we used to have like somebody doing like manual switching, like we connect all the cameras to the camera switchboard, right? But then the thing is, we realize like it's like super waste time. The person can be back home like editing videos or something more effective use of time that AIs cannot replace. And then now we can AI switch, so the AI will detect your face, who's talking, when's the audio signal coming in, and switch to the correct face. And
During
if both
editing?
of us, yeah. So I just press it, then you cut by itself.
Oh, damn, that's crazy though, right?
Yeah. Then if both of us talking, then you switch to the far angle.
Wow.
Bro.
Wow, that really makes things a lot easier.
Yeah,
though, right?
yeah. That's how I can churn, man. That's the only way. Yeah. So now the only difficult part is finding the right guests, finding the right things to talk about. Yeah. So yeah lah. That's the only difficulty lah.
Okay. Yeah, in a way, like, I think I've read it somewhere, AI is the fourth revolution.
Yeah.
Right?
After Industrial Revolution, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So there's, what was that? Electricity,
I think it's like
and a steam engine, electricity,
cultural revolution.
internet, and this is like
Yeah.
the fourth one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I also don't want to be a purist.
Yeah.
There's a term called Luddite, I think. It
Luddite.
refers to like people who are resistant to change, right? So it came from, I think it originated from the UK about people who opposed like a new kind of, I don't know whether it's a steam engine, stuff like that.
New kind of technology.
Yeah, right. So I don't want to come off as a Luddite, but I think the skill of any kind of artistry has evolved.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you don't use AI, then it's stupid.
Yeah.
Right. But you can't rely on AI completely. So that's the part where I feel partly relieved, is because I think mastery over a craft now is a mix of both.
Yeah.
It's like how well can you use AI?
We are now androids really, technically. Half
Yeah.
human, half machine,
Yeah, technically, right?
Yeah.
So the skill of an artist, it really is like, how well can you improve what AI gives you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, let's say for a writer, I also use AI as part of my job, and then I realized like the skill of a writer comes in when you know how to edit.
You become a curator.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you can't just deliver 100% what AI gives you, right? Because it's going to be generic all across.
Yeah.
Right? So the skill of the writer, I think the skill of the musician as well, is how well they can edit and improve what AI is delivering. You know what I mean? Like I'm already seeing like copies like with big brands that are like, oh my God, I can't believe they use AI because they deliver like the same kind of adjectives, the same kind of phrasing. So I think that's something that people will realize later on, you know, like when we used to do like music, it was all very cerebral. Like we thought about it, we materialized whatever was in our brain.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't think the artist can afford to lose it, because you wouldn't know what to do with about the AI output.
Yeah.
If you didn't develop the craft, didn't develop the skill.
Yeah.
Right. Like they said, like, you know, you don't need any formal training to be able to do anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But in order to, they said, you know, a lot, you know, it's common sort of like, I'm sure you've heard it before, for like, what's the actual phrase? Like, break the rules, something about breaking the rules.
I think you need to follow the rules well to be able to understand how to break the rules.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that?
Yeah. So you don't need any, you know, formal training, but if you don't practice the craft, you wouldn't exactly know what rules to break.
So the tiebreaker now is your taste.
Yeah, you know, and like it still involves practice,
Yeah.
but I think it's wise for people to not completely eliminate AI from their process.
It's just quicker also.
It is.
Rather than you crack your head on it,
Yeah,
the guy can spit out 100 results and then you choose.
Yeah, and I think like we were talking about off camera is just like the speed that the demand places on you, right? Now you're expected to churn out a ton of content within a short amount of time, right?
Like the Migos 40 songs a year.
I mean, that's crazy, right?
I don't understand how, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're that good, then, you know, let's use AI.
Yeah.
But I think we have to use it wisely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think it still requires the human wisdom and creativity to really create something really good.
Yeah, and I think humans are quite smart because eventually with AI being popularized, right? Everybody use AI, your grandmother use AI, your father use AI, everybody use it, right? So we've been so accustomed to it that we can kind of filter out the bullshit. Our brain can kind of filter out the generic stuff. Then only the very best make it to the top. I think that's what is so amazing about like the human brains are. Like first we created internet ads, and then now we create ad blockers, you know? There's always something to one-up the thing, you know?
Yeah, that's true,
yeah.
Yeah, man.
And then now, other than, did we like actually go into your status of your rapping? Like you're like on hold because of life, but is anything coming out that you can like reveal to us?
Yeah, like I'm working on an EP with Lyneth. I mean, I think he's produced like 90% of what's out there for me on Spotify, though.
Yeah.
Right.
So he knows your style.
Yeah, pretty much. And I've also, you know, like learned a lot from him. You know what I mean? And I think like there's a level of familiarity that makes the process a lot more fun. Yeah, and like there's music's definitely coming out.
Yeah.
And
It's been how many years since the last drop? Couple of years, right?
Bro, since COVID, I haven't done anything. You know what I
Damn.
mean? But it's not like I didn't want to. It's not like I didn't want to do music. I felt like I had other passions that I wanted to prioritize.
Yeah.
But of course, like, damn, I really miss performing, man.
Yeah.
I really miss like just making music. I'm always proud of seeing like something that was just in my brain materialize. You know what I mean?
The best part is if everybody knows the lyrics and everybody's shouting.
Bro, that's like a surreal feeling though, right? Yeah, man.
Yeah, like the Kendrick, like, you know, he can don't need to sing the whole song, everybody, my left stroke, left went viral. Then they just sing all the way to the end of the song.
Yeah, now it's like
whoa.
A minor. Man.
Yeah.
Even people like don't listen to rap know that.
Yeah.
Know that song or at least know that line, right?
Yeah.
But one thing I've always wanted to talk to you about, but we've never had an opportunity to actually sit down. Like past few times that we've actually met, we're rehearsing for something. I don't think we've had a lot of opportunities to really just sit down and talk, right? Yeah. And if you're asking me about my background, I want to ask you about yours. Like you've always won a lot of DJ competitions, right?
Yeah.
So, and I started off with rap battles as well.
Rap battle, yeah.
Yeah. So in a way, we were thriving in like the
aggressive side of things.
the competitive side of the craft, right? There's the artistic side, and then there's the more technical, cerebral, competitive side of things, right?
Correct.
Like, do you miss that part of your craft? Like,
a lot. Like, right now, I'm playing largely electronic dance music, but I go home, I still like to tune into hip hop and all that kind of stuff. Like a lot, I miss hip hop a lot. Yeah, but for the income, right, you have to do electronic dance music if you're a DJ, right? Yeah, hip hop. The rapper is always the first in when it comes to the first thing you think about. Yeah, yeah. So I guess so. Yeah.
When was your last battle though?
Wow, long, man. Like I think there's this like
Has it been a decade?
one. Has it? Maybe seen I guess so. I need to check my YouTube, man. I upload everything.
Are there still battles happening right now? Or
No, because like
is it a dying?
it is a
form?
dying thing. Because firstly, there's like there's a lot of DJs, but no DJ want to like go through that humiliation of losing now.
Yeah, bro. I think that's something we could
Yeah.
talk about though, right?
Yeah. Wow, but I'm very curious. When was my last battle? Oh my god, I got so many fucking YouTube videos out already since back then.
Bro, your digital footprint is massive, man. Aside from this, like 100 episodes in, you still have like all the music stuff from the time that you started, man.
Yeah, more than 5 years, bro. I scrolled 5 years already. I still cannot find it. 7 years. 9 years. Holy shit, bro. Literally like my third video on my channel.
Almost a decade.
Yeah, almost
Damn,
a decade.
man.
Crazy, man. Yeah, but I'm very passionate about the battling aspect of it, and I've always like find ways to resurrect it somehow, like Future DJ Battle. I created my own battle.
Oh right, yeah. You organized that one.
2 years. For 2 years, it managed to like happen 2 years. Yeah, I really hope that I can revive that battle spirit. Because it's like amazing, when someone do something crazy, right? Like I still remember the second Future DJ battle. It is between Luke here and NREV.
Oh right.
And NREV is super technical, right?
Yeah.
But Luke is just like chill, just let the music and the simplicity and how he kind of like portray his ideas out there. And everybody there, right, is a DJ of some form. And because it's not too technical, everybody knew what was happening. And you can see like the whole room of 300 people all bouncing their head at 64 BPM at the same time. I'm like, what? I can't believe it, man. That was like a super dope moment. And then when it happened, everybody, the battle thing, everybody like, oh!
Shit, man.
Oh my god. Hair stand moment, man.
Yeah, bro. And I for as far as like turntablism,
Yeah.
is turntablism still alive somewhere?
I think now very much gone already, because like I think firstly it comes with nightlife. Nightlife is not really very happening now. So clubs are struggling to earn money already. Clubs struggling to earn money, that means they cannot even pay your regular party DJ good money, and let alone turntablists. So turntablists is like literally the lowest of the pay scale, But even though they are the most technical, the most cerebral, the most like you need to practice for years. Yeah.
Actually, how did you get into turntablism though? Right?
Oh my god. Like it was like I guess like a need. Like when you're a DJ, everybody's a DJ. So how do you one up everybody? You need to do turntablism. Then eventually it becomes music production. Right? I was producing music. Then after music production, then COVID happened, and then it reset back to all you need to do is be a good DJ. Because now so many things can be AI, right? Music production, you can like I just want to like Drake type beat or whatever, then bam, come out already. So music production is also not that high in the ranks. And if you look at like all your Tomorrowland or whatever, DJ Mag, all your top DJs are probably mostly ghost produced or co-produced. You know, they probably you are touring 300 days a year. Where do you have time to go back to the studio? It's impossible.
That's true,
yeah, so producing, right, is like people cannot really see how much you contribute also. So it doesn't really mean that much anymore. So now it's a lot of social media now. It's about social content, how you edit yourself, how you portray yourself. And I've always been wanting to like kind of one up my competition in that way. So I guess I'm like technically battling people.
The battle has really
yeah.
evolved from the two turntables in front of you. Now it's the entire level of like every level of the product, you know.
At every level. Yeah. Like you can DJ, okay, I can DJ. Now I do turntablism. Oh, you can do turntablism now, I produce music now. You can produce music, I do social media content. Then if you can do social media, I need to like, you know, constantly one up the competition, you know.
Like now it's just the entire craft that you were so passionate about is only one
component
in the entire skill set. You need to have been able to achieve your dream.
Original passion.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, a few podcasts ago, I was like just telling someone, I forget who was it, like every day I just kind of feel a bit sad because I just want to DJ all day, every day, you know. You know, sometimes I just bought a super small controller, right? And then I enlist her to DJ also. She started DJ.
Is it? Oh, okay.
we jammed 3 hours, then we are like, okay, fuck it, let's film. Then, wow, fucking fail. But, you know, fail content is actually what's generating traffic now. And, you know, so we embrace it and we just took it as
part
like
of the game now, right?
It's part of the game now. So whenever I have time to like just set up my small little controller and DJing, oh my God, it's like the happiest moment of my day.
Is it like therapeutic for you in a way?
Yeah. And now that I have this weekly residency, right, I'm DJing, right? And then whenever I'm not like entertaining requests or whatever, it feels like that's my Zen meditation moment. Yeah, and this podcast is also like I can invite my friends to come and chill, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, how to say it, like episode 50, Benjamin King. I'm like,
you actually got Benjamin.
Yeah, you busy as fuck. And then, right, I'm also trying to keep myself busy, right? And how often can we sit down and chill and not think about anything but work, right?
Yeah.
But what happens if I make work chill? Like the work agenda is, can you chill and talk cock for like 3 hours? And it became this, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So that's how we can kind of finally connect and rest our brains so that we can be more creative. Yeah. But then you also said that you are like pursuing other passions outside of music. And then I see like a lot of photography stuff that you're doing, right?
Yeah, like for me, I love words. I love a good turn of phrase. I love word plays. I love like puns and how, you know, from how words are manipulated to create something funny, how words are manipulated to create something profound.
I'm surprised you're not a lawyer, man.
No.
Hey, you can battle people, bro. Hey, lawyer is the new age battle rapper, bro.
I mean, if we were that disciplined to actually study, I feel like for hip hop, it's always been about being street smart more than book smart. Yeah, but I get you. I know what you're trying to say. If only I was that disciplined to actually study in school, right? Yeah. So for me, I've always been fascinated about words, and I'm happy to still be in that space. So, you know, I eventually want to start like my own magazine. You know, I have this part of my fascination from words extends into the print medium.
Is magazine like journalism?
I mean, there are many ways. Yeah,
can journalism, can entertainment, can review, different genre, right?
Yeah. But for me, like I'm not formally trained in like journalism. You know, everything I know is just because I read a lot of books.
Yeah.
You know, and I think like my background in lyricism also helped a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So eventually, I do my dream in retirement, which is something I'm going to ask you as well, is, you know, if I really don't have to worry about money, I just want to keep publishing magazines, you know, and for magazines, words is just one aspect of it, right? It needs to be, you can only tell a holistic story when images are paired with it. You know what I mean? Like for magazines, it's like the confluence of these two things. So I said, if I want to bring the best out of my words, I need to
Picture describe 1,000 words, bro. Oh shit!
Yeah. Right? But for people, you know, with short attention spans, like how many people actually read now, right? Even like websites are condensed into like too long didn't read.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
TLDR,
but
yeah.
if it's complemented by pictures, like even pictures, it requires context.
Yes.
You know what I mean? At the same time,
yeah.
like you can read it, but if there's no
The small
visual
word below.
component, it's hard to really get the full
Context.
message. Yeah, context to what you're saying.
Yeah.
So for me to bring out the best in the words that I'm writing, I needed to also master the visual element of it. And then, you know, I picked up photography as a secondary skill set to the writing, which I really want to do. And then having explored that, I feel like, oh shit, it's so fun, actually. Initially, I thought I just wanted to take pictures of like landscape or the streets. And then over time, like, you know, getting into like street photography, taking photos of people. And then, I don't know, there's an intrigue that it creates in me. You know what I mean? If I wasn't the one who took the picture, you know, what kind of like, how would another person perceive that scene? You know, what kind of like, what would they think is happening there?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if people see the picture, you know, I have the words to be able to tell the story for it. Yeah, so it's mainly, you know, I mean, you would understand, like we were talking about earlier, for you to actually achieve your dream, you need to know so many other things.
Yeah.
Right? Like, the more holistic your skill set is, the better off you'll be.
Yeah.
Right? And, you know, I wouldn't say, like, my photography can compete with a professional. It's not. I think my skills are actually quite rudimentary. But among all the photographers, I'm probably
the best rapper.
The best, right? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's like
You stand out in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you think about it, like the best comic artists are the ones who can do both. You know, who can illustrate their own stories.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like they might not be the best illustrator, but among all the illustrators, they're the best writers. So one person might not be the best writer, but he's also among all the writers, he's the best illustrator.
Because nobody understands you better than yourself.
Yeah,
Maybe.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like to have control about what you do with your craft is, I feel like right now it's essential. It's as good as like left hand, right hand.
Yeah.
Right? We're all right-handed, but we still need the left one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Complementary skill set in that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. What camera are you using?
Oh, entry level, bro. Like it's
same
like,
entry level, dude.
but it's yeah,
Enough,
right.
man.
And it's at the end of the day, it's really, you know.
But you know the
how you make
camera
use of it.
one is like more focused for photography, one is more focused for videography, right? Are you using like what? Canon, Sony, or what?
Bro, to be honest with you, like as far as the technical aspects of the camera, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I only know like what lenses work with, you know, how different lenses would make a certain image look. Yeah. So for me, I've like I didn't think I would ever pursue photography without the writing component.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the day, it's just, you know, I figured out a setup that works for me. I'm just gonna stick with it. You know what I mean? I'm using a Canon M50, which is the first one from 8 years ago. So I learned photography from using the same camera that I'm using until now. Yeah, you know, and I think even the professional photographers or any kind of professional in any field, you know, it's what you do with the tool.
Yeah. The moment is all about the moment
Yeah.
that you capture.
Right? Even like people can create films from iPhones.
Yeah.
Bro, can you believe it? There's this movie called Monkey Man,
Okay.
starring Dave Patel. So it's like Bollywood John Wick,
Okay.
and it's also Dave Patel's directorial debut, right? So they were filming in India, and then they had technical difficulties. They couldn't use the proper film cameras.
Yeah.
So part of the film was actually made on iPhone.
Oh.
Like a proper full-length feature film was shot on iPhone.
But they managed to piece it together so people cannot tell.
And you can't even tell.
Damn.
Right? So it just, sometimes when I feel like, I think to myself like, oh, now we're earning like, proper, we have a better income from when we started. We could afford to like, oh yeah, maybe I could, upgrade my equipment. Maybe it's time for me to take it to the next level.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I always hesitate because I feel like, okay, this camera that I'm using now is serving my purpose. I feel like there's still so much to learn.
Yeah.
With this elementary entry-level camera that I'm using, right? So that's the thing, like I've always hesitated to like, when I want to spend money on like another, let's say a proper full-frame camera, a proper professional setup, more lenses, but I feel like for the kind of photography that I want to do, it's enough.
Right.
And
Until
then
you eventually maybe break through or something lah. Your skill level.
I hope so. I hope so. Yeah, and if I ever want to take it to the next level, like I could always ask my friends who are actual professionals to get advice from, and they'd recommend like, oh, maybe for what you want to do, you can try this.
Right.
You know what I mean? But for the level that I'm operating at now, the one that I have is enough.
Yeah. And then before you buy a new camera, you can also rent first.
Yeah.
To try, right?
Yeah. I don't know, but I also understand like there are people who love music, there are people who love photography, people naturally gravitate to the arts.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think a lot of the reasons that hold people back is just the technical aspect of it.
They are too intimidated by it. Really.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Bro, you look at like Ableton or Logic.
Yeah.
If you're looking at it for the first time, it's like, oh, what am I looking at? What am I looking at?
So many layers.
Yeah, right.
So many lines.
Yeah, right. It's like, but once it's like learning the Matrix, right?
Yeah.
Like in the movie, they apparently it's all just like ones and zeros. It's all the code.
Yeah.
Then when you master the Matrix, you actually see the full picture.
Yeah, you know the movement.
Yeah. So I think it's like that though. Like a lot of people are afraid to get into it because the technical aspect is so intimidating.
Right.
Yeah, but I think that shouldn't be a reason to stop anyone. Now with AI is one thing. Now there are so many apps as well.
Yeah.
Right, that makes the process easier. You know what I mean?
I always believe that the arts, right, whatever arts, right, it's a way for you to express yourself. And expressing yourself, right, shouldn't be difficult. Like,
yeah, that's true though.
Yeah, so let's just say your skill level very low, right? Just express yourself as best as you can with ease. Don't try to do the too difficult stuff. And eventually your skill level will increase, right? Then you will realize, hey, I need this extra thing, right, to actually express myself more. Yeah. So at any stage, right, artistry shouldn't be difficult. If it's difficult, right, that means you are like trying to like punch above your skill level.
Oh, right. Yeah.
It's like I look at this pianist called Lang Lang, and then he played like some Tchaikovsky or something. Like,
oh, damn.
And it's like easy, dude. And then you still can like fucking do facial expression, vibe, and
he's like that.
Isn't that like 197 BPM or something? Like I'm like, wow, it's like he really like so smooth already. Yeah. And that should be it, But you shouldn't expect yourself day one to be like that level, right? But if you can just play like some fucking Mary Had a Little Lamb or whatever, right, by your own variation, right? Maybe a hip hop gangster rap version,
Yeah. But on the topic of like punching above your weight,
yeah.
I think it's something that a lot of people struggle with.
Right.
Even I still sometimes struggle with it. But how would you advise someone to overcome that fear of like,
Just be you.
yeah, to just be you and not be afraid of like, I mean, because, when we start out, this is our level of taste, but this is our level of skills.
Yeah.
Right? How would you encourage someone to just trust the process and until the gap closes though?
I used to be like that as well. I always try to push the frontier. Like a very good example is Keith, right? He made a song and then I want to like remix it and do turntablism at the same time, but I was just still at the very, very beginning of my turntablism journey. So I don't know a lot of stuff.
What year was this?
I think like poly year 3 or something. So 19, so it's 14 years ago or something like that. I was trying to do some crazy shit already.
Yeah.
So right, I was literally like practicing, I record myself 351 times.
What do you mean record yourself?
I record myself practicing a routine, doing it again and again,
really?
different variations, 300 over times to finally record the final product. And it still sounds like shit, But that is like punching
so
above.
Frustrating though, right?
Yeah, but that's like really punching above what I currently can do. So I guess pushing yourself in that way, you can kind of like evolve faster than if you didn't. But I would say eventually, right, after this year is like my 17th year of DJing already. And then I realized, right, DJing is really a therapeutic, more therapy kind of thing. I don't really wish to be more technical than I already am because of the fact that I feel like it will create more disconnect between me and the audience. Because as you get so technical, right, it's like to a certain point where your peers don't even know what the hell you're doing already. Like top DJs don't even know what's happening. Only you yourself can tell the minute difference. Yeah. And then you start to alienate yourself from the rest of the world. Then you will eventually build up this frustration, I guess, like why nobody understand me also. And then when that's the first part. And secondly, right, if you don't kind of punch above, right, your skill is here, let's just say your taste is here and your skill is here. Then after like 17 years like myself, my skill is here and my taste is still higher, right? I'm okay to be here because when I am performing at this level, right, I'm not pushing myself. And then I can be like lang, I can still like chill and vibe while playing at 197 BPM, right? Doing some crazy shit, right? And people can really see that you are enjoying. Like, oh my God, this guy is having a good time, And people that don't know music, they will like start to have more trust in you.
Bro, you know how I know that you're a DJ? If I didn't know you?
Yeah.
We've talked about music, like different artists, and you've all mentioned what BPM they're playing at. So you could tell, like, when you analyze music, you think about the tempo is a component that you can't help but notice, bro.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's like a DJ is almost like a drummer.
Right.
I met a random violinist at Capitol 5-6 years ago. And then I was just like going around and talking to everybody as usual, my extroverted self. And then I just met this random guy. I have no idea who the fuck he is. And then I just started talking to him, right? And then we became acquainted then on that night. And then he's a violinist and he's a lawyer. And then we
Violinist and a lawyer.
Yeah. And then we are like bored already. Okay, you know what? Let's just play a game. Let's guess the BPM of the current BPM of the song. And then we were just like guessing.
It's a musician.
It's a fucking musician thing, man. And then it's like, okay, if you lose, then we'll drink. And then we'll get damn fucked up. But then at the end of the day, right, we'll have like a BPM counter to check whether it's correct or not. Oh my God, and we are like so close. We are just one BPM apart.
Bro, it's so nerdy.
That's fucking nerdy, bro. And a random person, I have no idea who this guy is, like, it's crazy. Like, we literally found each other. And he's with his wife, and then his wife just like, what the fuck?
No, it's like that though, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, it's rare. Like, we shouldn't expect our partners to be like, adjacent to our interests.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
If it is, it's a bonus.
Yeah, if it is a bonus, right? But life is bigger than that, obviously.
Yeah.
Right? But one thing that I really love about, hanging out with people who are into something, who are nerd about something.
Obsessed. Yeah.
Right? Is just, passion is infectious, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like when you even, like, let's say, you and I don't know anything about films. Okay, I'm just using a real life example.
Yeah.
Like I love films, I love movies until I met a guy who actually loves movies.
Yeah.
He's a close friend of mine. He's the one who shot one of my music videos. Like we actually went to a volcano in the Philippines, like to just get that whole cinematic, epic kind of element to it. You know what I mean? Like he's so passionate, he's willing to spend money and go to far out places just to have that vision, right? He's really one of the most passionate people that I know that is that obsessed with his craft. You know, obsessed, you know, sometimes can go two ways, be good or bad.
Yeah.
Right? But in this context, it's amazing what someone is willing to go through for their craft.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't get to see him often because he's so busy.
Yeah.
But which is how it should be.
Yeah.
Right? If you're that passionate about a craft, you should be busy with it. You know. So I don't get to see him often. But every time we do, I always feel a bit more inspired whenever we get to talk about his favorite subject.
Yeah.
You know, I thought I loved films until I met him. Right?
Yeah.
But when he talks about his movies, it's so infectious. Even like I get excited.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, I think I really love it too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it inspires you
Yeah.
to explore it even more. Like this is a guy that, you know, when we think about movies, we just see what's the story, right? What's being presented. But this guy is so nerdy about it. He knows film composers. He collects like film posters. He knows directors. He knows actors. When he sees a film, he's the kind of person that would
read the credit.
Read the credits and like look at the crew.
Yeah.
You know, he knows like, you know, he has like favorite cinematographers. Like, yeah, that kind of.
It's plugged in, man.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And even though I'm not as like knowledgeable about it as him, I still end up feeling inspired because of how he talks about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that's the kind of effect that when you met the Violinist had. It's like you guys were feeding off each other because of how you enjoy the nerdy stuff about your craft.
Yeah.
Right? So it's really, I think like it's never a wasted time, even when you're just hanging out with someone who's passionate about something.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is, but when someone talks about a subject that they really love, you end up being interested in it too. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I hope you understand, like you're in such a good position because every guest that you have, the reason why they're here is because they're passionate about something.
Yeah.
Right? And then they enlighten you, they enlighten your audience. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like, I don't know, man, like starting a podcast is really, it's a really good thing, man.
I think it's also a very hard thing, especially when your podcast is not bitching about people. That one can get you mad views, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
Ours is more like informative, more cerebral, trying to like, hey, you're successful, let's learn your secrets kind of thing. So it's like more normal, more boring. But I believe it will kind of pay off in the long run. So it's like kind of long game kind of stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say, I wouldn't use the word boring.
Yeah.
I think it's just...
To normal people, I guess.
It's, I mean, it'll find your audience, right?
Yeah.
But you need to keep laying the train tracks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
At the same time, while the demand, which is the train, just keeps moving.
Yeah.
So you just have to keep staying ahead of it.
I feel like I'm the pyramid builder, that I remove the rolling and then put the rolling pin every week.
But that's how it is, right?
Yeah,
and,
man.
Like, because of the amount of like output that is required, you end up, a lot of the creators end up making it look so easy.
Yeah.
But it isn't.
Yeah.
Right? So, those big creators, like, people need to know like how much work it actually is, right? To have that kind of consistency, to do it consistently at such a high caliber,
Yeah, and make it look like they are still having a good day.
Yeah, exactly. Right? There's people. I don't think a lot of people think about like how much work it actually is to set it up. Even just for this podcast, it on camera it appears like we're just hanging out.
Yeah, man.
Right? But there's the whole like setting up of equipment and actually making time for it.
Yeah, making sure the footage never corrupt.
Yeah, bro.
Dude, like I was just telling you, I was doing my day job on Saturday. Yeah. Then after my day job is like 11 hours. Then maybe I nap a couple of hours. I go to my Saturday residency. I'm filming also.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
filming the set. Then I'm like hungover. Yesterday was like a lot, quite happening. So I drank a little bit too much. Then after that, right? And I forget to bring my Revit, so I don't have my anti-hangover. Yeah, I forget to bring. Then I woke up, fucking hangovers, yeah. Then suddenly I saw your text. Yeah. It's still happening, but because it's happening every week, right? So I don't really text people until the day itself.
Yeah.
Because every week, right? Then after that, then I'm like, okay, confirm with you already. I need to edit video. I'm editing videos for the night before, and then now I'm filming. And then once I'm going back, I'm editing this. You know,
shit.
so
Are you editing tonight?
Because we're gonna post. Yeah.
Okay.
So I try to be ahead, like schedule it. So at the time of this like recording, right? This will probably be out like 2 weeks later. That's how ahead we are now. Yeah, but normally I try to clear it so that I have space, right, to do the very important yet underrated thing, that is to like think about, like have nothing in my mind, so I can be creative.
Right.
Yeah. Right now that's the tiebreaker, right? Yeah. And speaking of like passionate people, right? So at the time of this episode drop, 1 week before, right, there will be a coffee episode.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Like,
coffee clubbing. Clubbing.
Okay.
So they are like, okay, you know what? Let's be healthier. Let's, instead of clubbing, drinking alcohol, drink coffee instead. And then they are sponsoring this guy to join this world coffee competition. And this guy is like mad passionate, okay? He's like so passionate until he's like, he can pour the water on the coffee bean, right? And then he can hear how the sound, right, of the coffee bean. He knows like how much CO2 is being released and shit.
That is
and he's
crazy.
Like, I'm like, oh, what? That's some fucking next level shit, yeah. Yeah, and another very passionate person I know is like this guy called Night and Day, like night as in like knight in shining armor. And then he's a house music DJ. So whenever he DJs, right, he's just dancing his ass off, you know. And it's like, wow, it's so entertaining to see. And be he doing opening set or closing set, right, everybody is just so entertained by him because he's like truly like, and he's not doing some crazy technical stuff, you know. He's just very comfortable in his space and he owns it, he's confident. Amazing, and so many DJ bookers are like, hey, this guy, I want him. And then I'm like, yeah, but this guy got a day job, you know, so he can't make
really?
Yeah, he has a day job, and DJing is his passion. But then the thing is, unfortunately, you know, if DJing could pay better, right, you would have seen so much better talent.
Right.
Which is why I feel like the whole entire problem is the infrastructure in Singapore. There's not allowing for more artists to pop up. And back to the artists cannot earn money thing, right? I realize actually, right, earning money from the arts, right, is very much possible, but not how people would expect it.
Tell me more, bro.
What I mean, right, is that in the arts, right, if you want to do music, if you want to be an artist, basically, right, you are technically setting up your own company. But if you work under a company, it's easier, right? It's easier to make money when you're working for a company than starting your own company, right?
Exactly.
So if you start your own company, you can win big or you can totally don't win at all. But if you work for someone else, right, you will still have that stable income. So what I mean by that, right, is like, for example, there's a successful artist, let's just say Benjamin King, and then you need a video editor, right? I can work under him and I can still earn money, right? And I'm still within the arts, right? Yeah, I'm under the Benjamin King company, you get what I mean? Yeah, but most people don't want that. Everybody wants to be the face, right? And that's where the struggle happens. Yeah. So like you say, right, you can still find your way back into A&R or being a writer, copywriter, or social media strategies for the artists. Yeah. So why I managed to get this realization, right, is because it is from an episode with Jason Gyalchen. The music producer, right? Dude, this guy is like super shrewd businessman.
Oh, is he?
Next level. Yeah, strategies, Sun Tzu, art of war type guy, you know.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So he managed to find a lot of commercial success, like monetary, financial success, right, in music by being like behind the scenes producer for ads, doing jingles and all that kind of stuff, and producing for other artists. Yeah, and he managed to open like multiple studios. Yeah, that's fucking insane. So it's like when people saying like music not making money, right? I think you're just looking at the surface, which
It's
is the
not
artist.
the way people expected, though, right?
Yeah, you can still make money, but then you need to know where to look. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, you know, I think our generation managed to secure these kind of like income because, we've been around for longer. We also are more knowledgeable and wiser to know where to look, where opportunities are.
Yeah.
Right? But for people, let's say in their early 20s who are still enjoying the luxury of just doing their music full time,
Yep.
what do you think are the challenges that they're going to end up facing in the future? Now that, because like with social media, like there's no more, it pretty much evens the playing field, right? You have the same access to opportunities, like same access to tools.
No gatekeepers.
Yeah, exactly, right? But in that landscape, like what do you think what kind of challenges would they face?
Because everybody have the same access, and
Yeah.
the competition is extremely fierce now. And then to stand out again in every generation, you have to think outside the box. Yeah, it's like every generation there will be one Isaac Newton, then everybody just copy his idea. Yeah, it's like that.
But do you think there would be there's a higher chance now for artists to actually make a living just being an artist? Or is that do you think that would be another decade-long struggle before it actually happens?
Because now we got to think about monetization, right? How do you monetize? Back then you can sell CDs. Now cannot really. Now everything can rip, Yeah. Spotify people just listen to ads for Spotify. They don't even pay for the monthly subscription. So how do you actually make money?
People don't pay for monthly.
Yeah, dude, there are some people like that, man.
Really?
Yeah, I know LeBron James don't pay for monthly.
Oh yeah. I heard he's a cheapskate.
Yeah. So can you imagine? So I feel like, okay, so now we need to think, okay, let's just say you want to be an artist, you want to make money, right? You cannot make money from music. You cannot make money from selling physical copies, right? Social media also, you are posting, but you're not making money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't monetize from TikTok. You can only monetize maybe from sponsor. So you cannot think of the angle of music, really. You need to think of the angle of social media content. Yeah, then technically you're not making money from music anymore, right?
That's the thing though, right?
Yeah.
Like,
so the only thing that can make money is tour, lor. But who will pay money to see you unless you're famous?
Yeah, but then for them to get to that level, it's also their responsibility to work hard enough.
Do the 10 other things to fuel your music.
Yeah, right? Wow, it's crazy. Shit.
Crazy. Oh my god, vicious cycle, bro.
Yeah, man.
Fuck. So, yeah lah.
And I feel like you were talking about like sponsors, right?
Yeah.
I feel like artists can't just be an artist. Like you have to function as like a public figure, like a bankable public figure to see more income. Like I don't want to say just yeah, exactly, right? I don't want to use a word like you have to be an influencer, right? But I feel like nowadays it's also so important to have that bankability if you want to have like an edge over your contemporaries, right?
Yeah, correct. Because like the fact is money is damn powerful. It gives you freedom.
Yeah,
then you got like you say, right, if I have enough money already, I can do whatever I want. That's when I can be maximally creative.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
But what's your goal for Revelry?
I took a couple of years to I guess before Revelry I had like Rocking Good Records. I had quite a few collective kind of thing, right? And then I kind of like figure out like in 2025 the way is to like build relationships with your audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually back in the day of Casey Neistat when he did his first vlog.
Oh damn, man.
You know? Yeah, it's all about building relationship with the audience. And then eventually, right, they trust, they know, they like you, right? Then they trust, they like, they believe you, whatever you say, they feel inspired by you, they have that connection with you, right? Then they will eventually care about what you care about, right?
Yeah.
So often now, right, because we have access to social media, that we are now just throwing in everybody's face, hey, this is what I care about, hey, this is my new single, blah, 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 but people don't even care about you, why they care about your single?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and there's so many content, right, every single day, right? I want to watch my anime, where got time to listen to your song, that kind of thing.
There's so much content, right? Like, wow.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
So how do you like kind of stand out? And which is why I feel like right now the key, right, is not about like building your artistry or whatever. It's about building the relationship with the audience. And then eventually when they care about you, then they care about what you do, what you stand for.
But
yeah,
for introverts like you and me, Are you an introvert? I assume you are.
Fuck you. Stop laughing.
No, I just
This is
assume.
that's real. Okay, apparently I am an extrovert, right?
Are you?
When it comes to like pursuing my goals. Do you know 16
right.
personalities?
Yeah.
What's yours?
I never took it, bro.
Oh, you know?
Yeah,
Hey, dude,
I never took
very
it.
fast one, 100 questions, then you will kind of
Yeah.
give you like an idea, right? Yeah, but basically I'm an extrovert that is very focused on pursuing my goals. So I'm like relentless when it comes to working. I will like go and talk to everybody. Blah. But then because I'm so engrossed in my work, right? So I don't bother chit-chatting with people. That's why people think that I'm an introvert. Yeah, but when it's time to after party, dude, look at me go, man. Watch me go,
okay.
bro. Yeah.
I mean, like, I assumed you were an introvert because, like, like you said, you've always just been so
Yeah.
focused on whatever you're trying to achieve. Like, I never thought of you as like someone who's.
I
like
guess
a
we don't hang
social
out enough, that's
butterfly.
why.
Yeah, probably, right?
Probably,
Yeah. I know, but I still think you're, the fact that like you're so cerebral about so many of the things that you do. You know what I mean? But let's say for someone who's not as sociable,
Right.
and if being in front of the camera, building relationships with people is a necessity for them to do whatever they want to do, like what would you say?
I mean, so many of the vloggers are introverts. Like, Shah, what's that format that you're watching, the headless vlog one? Is it like they don't even talk one? Yeah.
What do you mean?
Headless vlog. Like, it's
Is this here?
Yeah, it's a very common thing in Korea. Is it? I don't know. Is it Korea or China? Korea or China, right? That they don't even film their head. They just put subtitles, and it's like ASMR all the way. It's like, oh, I just opened my door. All the like natural sounds they don't even use like noise cancellation or whatever. It's just like nothing, silent, no words. And then I'm just going about my day. And then eventually they gain a cult following, right? Like people recognize how their hands look like and recognize them in public.
Really?
It's fucking insane.
Their hands are more famous than them.
Yeah, their hands or the accessory they wear or whatever, or the collarbone or something, they recognize them from the collarbone. And then right, the fans are so respectful, right? That they come and then they just wave at you and then they go.
This
they
is
walk
in
away.
Korea.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just wave at you and go away, say, I'm a huge fan. Then walk away.
Oh.
That's the way, So you can do headless vlog, that's one way. And another way is like, you can just like film yourself talking to the camera and just yourself in a room. You don't need to face anybody.
I guess,
right?
it's an intimate setting, so it works like that as well.
Yeah, so actually a lot of your vloggers are all introverts. But then again, that is not enough now because AI is replacing talking head content. You can create a talking head content.
Right?
Yeah, like find me Joe Rogan and then I can like create a talking head content about like, I don't know.
Now you can make someone, say stuff that, you can just fake an AI video.
Yeah.
Like there are like press conferences, NBA press conferences.
Yeah.
Then they would just
right.
make people say, like make the players say some stuff that they wouldn't say.
The coffee guys, right? The coffee clubbing guys, they're damn young, like 21 years old, right? They have a friend, right? That built a website, right? That she's a tuition teacher, so she, I think tuition's chemistry or something. Then built a AI, right? That uses LeBron James to explain chemistry to you.
Oh damn!
yeah, I got a link I send you later. Fucking retarded. Yeah, so that's how they like on the edge, right? Like same as the guy that make a lot of money by teaching math on Pornhub. You know that?
Huh? Really?
Dude, you should search. It's on the internet. Yeah, this guy like upload his math tutorial right on Pornhub because it's very high traffic, alright. Then from there he linked to his tuition center or some shit. Fucking smart.
But they don't take it down or anything.
Yeah, they don't.
But it's not porn. It's
it's
just using the platform.
Yeah, the guy teaching math like actual like normal. I think like Korean dude or China dude or something. Yeah. Then there's like a blackboard and then he just like. Yeah.
Damn, that's so exciting.
So it's about thinking outside the box,
Yeah.
So because AI can replace everything right now, I'm just like hypothesizing, I'm theorizing, right? Like
I think that's all we have to rely on is just like hypothesis. Like I don't think things are changing so fast. Like nobody actually has a blueprint.
Yeah. So the theory is, I think live music will come back.
Oh, you think so?
Because everybody watching you on social media, right? Then they get exposed to, hey, it's Enero against Enero. Okay, I like this guy. But I want to verify whether this guy exists in real life or not. Then they'll come to your show.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then they can go back to continue enjoying your videos again, to come back to watch your live show. Then it's like rinse and repeat kind of thing. That's what I think, because I guess that's a logical conclusion, right?
I mean, it's
else?
always cyclical, right? It's like full circle stuff.
And you know, in Korea now, it's very huge, vinyl cafe, vinyl cafe. So they play vinyl DJ sets. Yeah. So you can tell the guy is actually DJing.
Oh, it's coming back, right?
Yeah, it's coming back.
Damn, man.
Yeah, because with digital, right, you're pressing so many things, right? It could mean nothing, you know. You could be just faking it. Nobody knows. Nobody can tell what's behind the computer screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like interviewing Therapy Room. They are a group of like audio engineers and equipment specialists, right? I asked them, can you take 10 steps away from the DJ console and understand what this guy is doing? It's like, now cannot already, because everything is digital already. He pressed this button, maybe triggering some other stuff that you don't even know what's happening.
Oh.
Yeah. So, but with vinyl, it's like, you can't lie, you know. You're playing,
yeah.
this is one song. Then you change, this is another song, you know.
Was that something you ever got into? Like vinyl?
When I started, vinyl was just phasing out. So I did a little bit of vinyl during my, there's this period where I was like doing like turntablism showcase with Koflo and Darnie.
Wow, the legends.
in Ngee Polytechnic or something. Yeah.
Damn, man.
So I still like use vinyl a bit for that certain segments, but not really full on. I don't have like a vinyl wall at my house. The upkeep is like way too much. Yeah, so just now when you begin, right, you were like saying that when we were 20, when we perform, right, it's like such a highlight, right?
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people think that way, especially myself, right? I'm like constantly chasing the next thing. I want to like earn more money. I'm like always ahead. And then I remember, right, like a couple of weeks ago, a month ago, right, I was sleeping. I don't dream when I sleep, I don't dream. But I had this dream, right, like I'm about to die. And then I'm like,
shit,
oh shit.
What do you mean? Like, what do you mean? Like,
okay, normally I sleep, I don't dream. But
Yeah.
eventually I had this dream, like 1 month ago, right? And the dream was like, I'm on my deathbed. And I cannot pursue any further. That's the end, you know? And then I'm like struggling, right, to remember the good old times. Like, and then like my family is beside me, right? And then I'm just like so extremely upset. Yeah, then I woke up clearly having a bad day the next day. Then I realized, oh shit, I never once thought of that, you know. Like as I get older, I feel more close to, I don't even know whether the sentence structure is correct, like more close to mortality. I feel more.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right. That I start to have this kind of thoughts. And what I used to consider like something worth pursuing is no longer worth pursuing. And then I start to like reminisce about the past a little bit more than last time. Even though now I'm still very like, what's next? How can I get better? And how can I level shit up? But then for you to remind me of this moment, like thinking back about the good old times, right? It's really like something that I feel like more people should kind of adopt, so that they can kind of like, when they're upset, they can still shift themselves back in the day when that was the high point, you know, rather than end up like fucking Chester Bennington, like.
Bro, that was
fucking
so
sad.
hard,
RBG.
Yeah, bro. I mean, you think about
because
it.
Because their high is there already, right? You can't beat.
Yeah, you've achieved the pinnacle of your industry.
Yeah.
You know, and then you can still succumb to it.
Yeah.
It's a scary thing. And like, Chester was what, 41? You know, most people think by 41, in your 40s, you'd have, you know, with that level of success.
He haven't even reached midlife crisis yet.
Yeah, bro. Like it was such a scary thing because like, it can come for you. No matter like how much success or where you are in life, right?
Yeah.
You know, it's not like this guy, from our perspective, he's not rock bottom.
Whoa, dude, he's a rock star, bro.
Yeah, bro. Exactly, right? But it could still come for him. You know what I mean? And for me, that for a person that often struggle with this, like I have thoughts of like, mortality. The subject of mortality is something that I think about a lot. And then when I see that shit, Chester Bennington has achieved everything there is to achieve in music, but he can still hit him.
Yeah.
You know, that really affected me. Like, but in a way, like, it's also a reminder that it's really just take care of ourselves, man.
Yeah.
And like, just do some stock taking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, for you, what would you say has been the highlight of your 20s though, of your music journey?
Oh man, this is I think it's probably the first time I played Zouk Out. The first time I played Zouk Out was actually the first time I have been to Zouk Out.
Huge, bro.
Zouk Out is huge, man. Yeah, and it's like it's a mix of like something fucked up, and then eventually it became very good, right? That like, oh man, when I look back, I was just doing stock taking of my photos because like, you know, iPhone the storage is like fixed, right? So
yeah, what's the storage?
512 or something.
Oh, okay. I was wondering for a creative, you might need a lot of
256. I think 256. I think 256.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm going to 512 soon already, lah. Yeah.
Bro, freaking videos, right?
Yeah, freaking videos.
Yeah,
Now 4K,
man.
60p. What
Yeah,
the hell?
bro. Like
Yeah.
1 minute of video is like 1 GB, and like 256 is just not enough, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what about yourself? What do you think about when like you're feeling down? Like how do you like perk yourself out? How do you motivate yourself?
Wow, bro. I don't know, man. I tend to ride through it though, right? I don't know when
like
I'm
you
like,
embrace the feeling.
yeah, and just go through with it. I probably am not the best person to advise anyone when it comes to this, because like when it hits me, it really hits me.
Oh damn.
You know what I mean? Like I don't have any.
True
I
blue
can
artist, true blue
advise
artist.
I can advise someone, but I can't be the embodiment of it.
Oh no.
You know, I can't say that. Oh yeah, when I'm feeling depressed, I just, you know, like David Goggins, I'll stay hard, get up in the morning and run. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Who's gonna carry the boats, man?
yeah. Oh, you read David? Did you read the book?
Dude.
You know about that story, right?
Yeah.
But for me, it's like, to me, it's really just to have like an infrastructure in place,
Yeah.
so you can prevent it from happening too frequently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, part of me is like, I read a lot because it makes me feel like I'm not deteriorating mentally.
What the fuck?
It makes me feel like, you know, like people stagnate,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But reading makes me feel like, okay, even though I don't know when this knowledge is going to come, but I have more knowledge than I did yesterday.
Yes.
You know, just the feeling of that improvement. So for me, the goal is really to just have more good days than bad ones. Yeah, if I can, in a month, if there are 2 days where I'm super depressed, it's okay. I have like 28 days or 29 days where I'm actually okay. Right? So I mean, for me, if it hits, I don't normally have any kind of like, I mean, it's hard, right? When you're deep into it. How do you even motivate yourself, right? And other people can give you advice, but when you're in that state of mind, it's really hard to listen to anybody. You know, so for me, as much as possible, I would just do things that would stop me from falling into that spiral. Yeah.
Something I found out is that your gut control a lot of your emotions. Because how I came to that conclusion is actually from 2 separate videos that I watched. I watched the Elon Musk saying that AI and robotics can technically replace human emotions. Because your thoughts, right, are just electrical signals being fired. So how you feel, right, might not be how you feel. Might be something affecting why you feel that way. You know, maybe not from an event, maybe from a like digestive tract issue. And then another health channel says that you know, you need to fast enough so that your stomach will be empty for a certain period, right? Then after that, then you can start digesting again the next day. So gut health, your microbiome or something like that.
It affects our psychology.
Yeah. So I try to make sure I settle that first. Yeah.
Do you fast?
I fast for like 6 months and I felt the benefits. So instead of fasting, I kind of basically shifted the fast basically. Yeah. So I still kind of do like 12 lah. Most people do 16-8.
Okay.
I think 16-8 is too insane already. Yeah. And especially if, you know, I don't understand people that quit drinking. Like, why don't you just do it in moderation? Just like maybe chill, you know, just do it some days, do it whenever you want. You don't have to. Maybe some people got addiction, right? Who knows, right? Yeah. So whenever I need to drink, I need to eat, right? So I can't technically 16-8 fast because I'll get them rabak lah.
I'm not even surprised Elon would say something like that.
Yeah.
I read his book, and this is the guy that overcame his fear of darkness by analyzing, studying light. Like, what is light? Like, he broke it down into what it is exactly, as opposed to it being an emotional state. Yeah, and then, it's on the topic of like, why do people quit drinking? I agree with you. I feel like when it comes to anything with life, there are only one thing that you need to remember, right? Nothing in excess, everything in moderation. Yeah. Like, no matter what it is. But of course, David Goggins would say otherwise, right?
But
It's stay hard.
for him to perform at his level,
Yeah.
he can't afford to, to drink or to smoke or to whatever.
Yeah. And he's what, 50 plus?
Oh shit, is it?
Yeah.
I thought he's like late 30s, eh? Holy shit,
No,
50
he's 50 plus.
ah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but how did you come across David Goggins, though? Internet, YouTube?
He don't really do podcasts, but whatever podcast he does is like super impactful.
Yeah. He was on Joe Rogan podcast before. Then there was another episode where Joe Rogan was talking about David Goggins.
With another guy, right?
Yeah. Then he
yeah.
was saying like David Goggins, this insane, crazy dude who was right before the podcast, he was working out, doing pull-ups and like, right? Yeah, man. I mean, not everybody can be David Goggins. But I think it's like Kobe Bryant. There are so many anecdotes about the Mamba mentality, about legendary stories that players would say.
Yeah.
But he's one of those archetypes where we might not be able to achieve it, but we're all the better just for aspiring to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like soaking in their passion,
Yeah, like David Goggins, like, bro, we're not going to be able to. I mean, maybe we can, but, realistically, we're not going to be able to do what David Goggins does.
Singapore standard of living, we need to work more to earn more money.
Right?
And do less chin-ups.
Yeah, exactly. But if you aspire to it, you're still going to end up a lot better than you were if you didn't.
Do you know Jocko Willink?
Yeah, bro, I've read his book as well, man.
Dude, Jocko. So they say Jocko, right, is the ultimate leader, and David is the ultimate soldier.
Oh, is it so?
Yeah,
that's a good.
Because Jocko, right, despite he looking like some fucking silverback, right, but he's known for
silverback, bro.
Yeah,
man.
He's known for being fucking smart.
Yeah.
Not for his killing ability, despite looking like that.
Yeah, that's true though.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, Jocko Willink is the leader. I mean, his books are about leadership though, right? Then for David Goggins, it's really about
fighting your demons, bro.
Yeah, the ethics of being a soldier, soldier of life in a way.
Yeah,
man. But as far as like, bro, at exercise in your 30s, man, do you still work out?
I try to work out as much as possible. Like, I stopped for a while, but then I came back, and then I realized that exercising is the key to keeping yourself young. Okay, I'm gonna send you a video of my last week's recording, right? My opening DJ, he looks like my age, right? But he's like almost 50.
Really?
Yeah, dude. I like, what the freak?
What does he do? He works out a lot, or?
I guess he eats well, he works out a lot, and he's a DJ. He's DJ full time.
Yeah, how do you do that? Right?
Yeah. Dude, I don't understand. So I think the key to like music industry or any other stream of your performance, right? Looks is very important, sadly. Yeah, whether you like it or not.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean,
you need to look good or you need to look weird. You cannot be in between.
Eccentric enough. Yeah.
Then you can get the attention, right? Yeah. So I guess exercise is really part of it. I hate exercising, I hate running, but for my craft, I'll do anything, bro.
You were like a sergeant in NS, right?
Yeah.
Do you still have to do IPPT right now?
I had to until very recently because I fell and broke my tailbone, and then it's very unstable now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did you down pass?
So I down like half. So I'm still combat, but like not fully, So I still have to go reservice and do all the stuff, but I'm like exam IPPT basically. Yeah.
I see.
So I still try to do some light exercises to like don't age out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So for you, it's if we don't do anything about our body at this age, right?
Yeah.
We naturally just put on weight. Like you have to be proactive about how you take care of yourself as well.
And your body how's your brain.
Yeah,
and
right.
it affects the way you think also. And especially when it comes to this kind of podcast, right? Wow, the conversation is so rapid fire, right? Oh, I struggle, for the first few episodes really badly.
Really?
Yeah.
But you're doing, like, you've pretty much, do you think you've mastered the craft of podcasting now?
I don't know, certain days I still like mental fart, right? Especially whenever I don't really sleep well. Yeah, but now I try to like really try to squeeze in as much sleep as possible, despite the very challenging day-to-day task that I have to complete. It has become a priority already, of sorts.
I see.
Yeah.
You know, like back when, like on the topic of David Goggins, right?
Yeah.
So in his new book, in his like interviews recently, he's mentioned stuff like sometimes you gotta relish in the imbalance of life. Sometimes you gotta go to that extreme, right?
Yep.
Do you agree with that, or now you also have a partner that you've been with for a long time?
Yeah.
Like, is work-life balance like paramount to what you do, or are there some days where you push everything in your life and then you just go overdrive on one thing?
I agree with David Goggins, right? Because I found out the new definition of work-life balance. Work-life balance is first 50 years you grind your ass off, next 50 years relax your ass off.
Is that
work-life balance, bro?
Oh.
Yeah, that could be it, right? Because like I mentioned, the house music DJ night and day, right? He's a master degree architectural guy, and then his work-life balance is, okay, this 3 months I need to finish the building, right? So I'll finish the building first, then next 3 months I relax, I can do my DJing stuff. That's how he does his work-life balance. It's more longer scale. So I think we can think of life in phases.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Like when people conventionally work-life balance is like applies to the day-to-day, like everyday
accidentally
stuff.
dropping bars, bro.
Bro, that's so cool. I honestly, it's something that I think about sometimes. Like, man, I really want to spend more time doing this, but then I also don't want to neglect my other priorities, like relationships and stuff like that. But I agree with you, bro.
Yeah.
Like sometimes work-life balance doesn't have to be, can be applied to like a longer scale. Yeah, longer duration. I agree. Even if it's like, a few months, just go 110% and then a few months break. Or if you're really aiming for like massive success, I think it would require a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then again, we also need our partners or spouses to be understanding of it.
Yes, correct. I watched this podcast of Jordan Peterson, and then he says that...
Hey, Jordan, what do you think about... Yeah, okay, I'll ask you about what do you think of Jordan Peterson. He's a divisive figure, but I actually like it.
I met one of my best friends at Zook, right? His name is John Langan, and how we connected, right?
His name is what?
John Langan. Not John Lennon.
John Lennon.
Not John Lennon, but John Langan.
Okay.
Yeah, Langan, yeah. And then while I was waiting for my shift to start at Future, I was like down there reading the 12 Rules of Life.
Oh, you read the book?
Yeah. It's good, but it's very lengthy for
okay.
So I after I finished already, right, I start to forget. So what's rule number 3? Then I start to go,
it happens, right?
Yeah. Then I need to go YouTube, listen to the audiobook, recap, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And that's how we connected, That's so strange, right? Like you're DJing in a club and you're reading 12 Rules of Life.
I mean, you're the kind of guy that like studies right before the show, right? I guess you're still doing it now.
Yeah, I'm just very intrigued by this guy. And he's saying that like for marriages, like I think some statistics, 57% or a high percentage of marriage will fail, right? If you guys stay together, right? Before the marriage actually begins.
Oh, is it so?
Yeah, so for me and my girlfriend, we stayed together for like 5 years already together. Yeah, we moved from rental, then eventually...
you've moved out of your place?
I moved from my place
Oh,
already.
okay, for 5 years already.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then he said that like couples that stay together for very long, before they get married, they are more likely to get divorced like during marriage. I can understand why, right? Firstly, they are sick of each other. Secondly, it's like maybe they don't have like that. I guess back to sick of each other. Don't have that romantic, too over familiarized,
right,
comfortable, jaded, I guess. But then when we are together, right, we are collectively working on this big project called Revelry, and that's how we stay aligned. Yeah, and then we cook together. We do literally everything together, and I cannot think of like a better possible scenario. other than this arrangement. This is really like the best. Because at the beginning, when you start a company or start an initiative, right, there's a lot of work needs to be done. And you don't have money to pay everybody unless you have like some daddy fund, right? That $1 million entry to start your business so that you can call it
Nepo.
then you can call it self-started, started from the bottom. But when you truly started from the bottom, oh my God, you can't afford to hire anybody. You literally need to do everything yourself. And if you have a partner that can support you and also grind through this like very difficult phase with you, right? That's where you can finally jumpstart. And then I believe it kind of bring new meaning to our relationship. Beyond just like romance alone. Yeah, I feel like romance is very fleeting. Like when you like someone, right? I guess it all starts with infatuation first, right? Or lust first, the very surface level type. Then eventually romance, and then eventually the romance die down already because then you are still together for 50 years because you have to take care of your kids. It become loyalty, sense of, So I feel like for a successful relationship, right? I don't even know how we change the topic until relationship, but then
I mean, it's all part of like the creator, like an artist's experience, though, right?
Yeah, I guess in order for a successful relationship, you need more than just love. Like it starts off with infatuation, lust, and love, and then you need like loyalty. Then you need sense of responsibility. The kind of more core values kind of stuff for the relationship to work. Because on certain days you will hate each other's guts,
Yeah.
And how do you like power through that? Yeah.
But for someone in your position, someone who has his own ambition, someone who's deep into a certain craft, subculture, and then eventually everybody will find a partner in life.
Yes.
I mean, at least many of us would.
Yes.
Lucky enough to, and then our partners naturally would always say like, they'll support the dream, all the way. But when it comes down to it, what does that support actually mean? What does it look like? Does it look like giving you the time off whenever you want, or cheering from the sidelines? Because we have to understand, like, they also have their own lives. Right? But what does that support from the partner actually look like for you?
Oh, for mine is like quite, it's actually pretty good for me. Like she's very into supporting me. So from full-time status, she convert to part-time status to come and assist me.
Okay.
So it's like she's like plugged in already,
Plugged in.
Yeah, super plugged in. Creative director wearing the cap and all.
Nice.
Yeah, shout action and cut all. Yeah, so I think like that's like maximum level of support already when you like work in the company, Yeah, and then eventually like when we can afford to hire people, right? Then we can play more like a creative director kind of role. Yeah, I think that I'm extremely lucky to have this arrangement where I feel like most people don't. And how do you handle if your partner is not that into your stuff?
Right.
Yeah. It's just nice, right? She's in the clubbing industry. Yeah. She understands everything, And without learning how to DJ, she can DJ, because she actually sees more DJ than me. Because she do the visuals for the DJ, right? So she literally have the opportunity to watch every single DJ from all around the world, right? Come play at Zouk. Yeah, so she knows their quirks, whatever they do, the timing. And she don't even know how to count bars, right? But she just knows, this is the right way. I don't know why, but I know this is the right way. Yeah, that is like...
It becomes, through osmosis, like it becomes instinctive.
Yeah, and it's not many people can be like that level of like competence when it comes to something that they don't even know.
But you gotta call her out for not counting bars.
That's even more skillful, Like, there's one video compilation of me scolding her continuously. Yeah, it's doing pretty well on social media. Yeah. Then I guess that's the highest level, right? But when you have a partner that's like not so in sync, right? I guess we can like discuss ways in which we can like work this through. I don't know for yourself. Do you have like such an experience where your partner is totally doing something completely different?
I mean, like, because like I haven't gotten to a level where I'm actually living with my partner, so it's easier to, let's say, we need some space to do our own thing. Let's say, spending the day in the studio and stuff like that. And she doesn't exactly live with me. So there's still that natural time off that I get. But for someone who lives with you, let's say you're working from, your home is your studio.
Yeah, man.
Like, how does that, how does support manifest in that situation? Is that for yourself? Like, do you demand like some space, or do you want her to, like, I don't know, take care of the house, do the errands, handle the administrative stuff?
Right.
Or for someone who's not into the stuff that you're into.
So okay, across all my relationships, right? That's the purpose of having an ex, right? Is you to know what you don't like. The whole purpose of having an ex,
I
right?
guess so.
So after, I think 2 or 3 relationships, then we finally get together, right? Then I realize, I like space, but she loves space, bro. I'm the clingy one now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm the clingy one. Yeah. Yeah. So she loves fucking, like, I like space. She likes space, bro. Yeah. So, that's why she naturally can, like, create space on her own. She just like watch her own stuff, scroll her own TikTok, whatever. And then I'll be, since I'm a workaholic anyways, I'll be like busy doing my stuff, Then eventually when I'm finally done with my stuff and I come here and disturb her, right? Then she's finally ready to come and talk to me and entertain me, basically. Yeah, so I guess that's a good arrangement for us. And then, just now I was thinking about something like when you guys are staying together, but, right. When you guys are staying together, but then the thing is, like, if let's just say, like, I'm only all about producing music, but my partners don't know anything about producing music, and obviously she cannot help me in any way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That, I came across that point because remember I told you, right, DJing is not enough. I started to learn turntablism. Wow, turntablism, okay, some people know turntablism already, right? I want to be better than everybody. I learned producing music, right? So I start to hold myself up in the studio, just constantly churning out remixes and stuff, right? And that's, I cannot engage my partner in that way. And I made a conscious decision, right, to create a way that I can level up my DJing portfolio, right, while including my partner in it. Yeah, so that's how I made that, like, decision, like, before I even started Revelry. I realized that, okay, I need a more, like, I need to stop alienating myself in order to make this relationship successful. Yeah, and I guess it all stems from the fact that I love my partner a lot, and I really want to make this work, right? So I created Revelry in a way that I can still do content that is not so technical, that a normal person can understand.
More palatable.
Yeah, palatable. And how it translates, right, is now I have a wider audience. Yeah. Like, normies that don't know anything about the music industry or hardcore music industry veteran, right? They can still enjoy my content. Yeah, so it's like win-win situation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, like, I realized, like, over the years, you're basically self-taught in so many things.
Yeah.
Right? For someone, let's say, like our age, someone who's starting out, knowing that they have to learn these things, what kind of, like, I mean, like we mentioned earlier, when someone sees Ableton interface or Logic, it can be very intimidating, right? But what are the qualities do you think someone should have to be able to get through those roadblocks to actually learn something? Like, when you learned all these things, when you've mastered, like, something as new to you as producing, or creating content,
right?
What kind of qualities did you think you had that allowed you to learn these things? Because it's so easy to give up if you don't understand something. Like, shit, man, this is beyond me. I don't know what to do. But how did you get through that phase?
It all began with discovering, right, that I cannot tell musical keys apart. Like, so many DJs, right? We are just DJing based on the BPM. Like, oh, this BPM can fit. Okay, then we DJ. But we never really consider the fact of the key. Yeah, and then I was, like, being called out for it. And then I'm like, oh my God, I didn't
call you out. Who are calling you out for it? Other DJs or?
No, one of my ex who is, like, very musically inclined.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
and then like I'm very grateful for that moment. But back then I was like very frustrated. I'm like, oh my god, I cannot really tell what's off key. Then people is like, I remember like 15 years ago, Nash was like, hey, this is off key because Nash know how to play like 8 musical instruments or something, all right? If you don't
I
know.
didn't know that about
Dude,
him.
he's drummer, pianist, everything like that.
Damn,
Yeah, he's
Nash.
crazy, dude. So he can tell at a very young age, this is off key. And then I'm like, huh, what's that? You know, I cannot even fathom what's off key and all that kind of thing. And it translated in my DJing, you know, it's really like by feel. And then eventually when I was like being called out, right, I was like, oh, what the fuck? Then I start to like, okay, you know what? I need to like figure this shit out. If not, I will be at this level. I need to be better. So I start to learn keys, music theory, and all that kind of thing, right? And then I'm just constantly looking at like 6-year-old kid doing some crazy, you know, Mozart shit.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, wow, I'm so fucking depressed. But then eventually when I kind of managed to successfully learn it, right, I'm still not like perfect, you know, when it comes to like identifying the keys and whether it matches, right? But I can somewhat 80% tell whether it's off. And I've come a long way, right, of self-taught. And then I realized that is the only way, right? It's your willingness to want to level up so that you can have a good life.
Yeah.
If you are stopped, right, by judgment, how other people think, how you think about yourself, your negative criticism on yourself, then you'll be stuck lah. Then you'll be those people that cannot accept the industrial revolution type people, you know.
That's true.
Yeah, then you cannot reach the exciting part of life. Yeah, when you know more things, right, then you get to unlock more, right? Then you realize, oh shit, there's more that I don't know. Then you start to become a more humble person as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the Dunning-Kruger effect, right? Like, you know, the better you get at something, the more you realize how much you don't know.
You realize that there's more levels.
Yeah, right?
Holy shit.
But when you're starting out, it's easy for you to think like, yeah, I'm the best. Then you get better at it. Then the more that's the paradox, right? The irony of it. Like, the better you get, the more lousy in a sense that you feel. Because you become more aware of like how much more there is to know. You understand like the level of expertise that other people may have over you because you're able to understand the nuances that they tend to execute.
And then you can identify masters as well.
Yeah.
If you
right?
realize that masters, they don't need to show off their full sets of skill.
Yeah.
They just like a bit. Then whenever it requires, only at extreme moments they display their true skills. But other than that, it's just like.
That's the thing that fools a lot of people is because they make it look so easy though.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that moment in a DJ battle
I mean,
where you're chill and then you're reserving?
most of the time people look at my face, they don't even think I'm DJing. They're like, hey.
I guess.
Yeah, so you know, my underrated moment is like every day of my life. But what about yourself? Like, how have you like changed over the years? Like, when you look at life.
I think the course of my life has been. I've been good for the most part. You know what I mean? Like, I really shouldn't have anything to complain about, right? Like, I've never had to struggle for food or struggle for a place to live. But much of the challenges that I face is usually like, has always been kind of like self-inflicted in a way. You know, like I believe like the only real tragedy in life is like the death of a loved one.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the things is, you know, like even like a certain situation, you get fired from a job, not your fault, but how you feel about it is self-inflicted.
Yeah.
In a way, right?
Yeah.
So for most of my life, I feel like I have so much to be grateful for, but I tend to just unwittingly be ignorant of it until I really hit like in a way rock bottom, and then that's when I do a stock take.
Right.
Like, okay, I'm really not that bad.
Right.
So evolving from that, you know, while still trying to survive in the world, it's like so much of my growth has been through introspection as opposed to, I mean, there were only through few formative experiences that has boosted my growth. Like one of it is like NS, like your professional life and your job and stuff like that. Of course, you learn from these kind of experiences. But for me, much of the growth that I've ended up experiencing for myself has mostly, a lot of it has been through self-reflection, reading, and then whatever it's about putting into practice in the world. Yeah, but I guess that's how a lot of people do it too, right? Like you have to, I think growth really happens through introspection.
Yeah.
Like you can keep going through similar experiences with other people, but how much you learn from it really is based on how much you reflect on the situation. Yeah. So I think as far as like my 20s, if I were to think about it logically from we keep using cerebral. I keep, like from in that manner, like I have so many highlights, so many things to look back on, right? But the regret that I have that I don't want to repeat for the rest of my life is how I felt throughout my 20s. When I spent my 20s constantly fighting, in a way, melancholy, like depression. Every day was like, to not exaggerate, but a lot of the days were about, I'm not a shitty guy, I'm not stupid, I'm not an idiot, like I'm actually, I don't suck, that kind of thing. So much of my 20s were spent having that battle, right? So I spent so much of my 20s feeling shitty about myself, but still, having many highs through it. So my 20s felt like shit. But when I take stock, when I look back, I shouldn't have felt that way.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Totally.
let's say,
like you were too young and immature to realize those were the dope moments.
yeah, exactly, right? Like, ironically, one of the most profound lines that I've ever heard was from The Office, right?
What?
The last,
The Office, yeah.
yeah, one of the lines that really hit me is like, I wish there was a way you would know those are the good days
Oh man.
before they're gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in a way, I spent so much of my 20s like feeling shit, right? But when I analyze the scenes of my life, it's like, oh, damn, like I actually performed in
Esplanade.
Esplanade multiple times, Araneta Coliseum, which is a legendary stadium where Muhammad Ali had his fight, the Thrilla in Manila. To be in that stadium where so many legends. I hope I got the fact correct, but my point is like to perform in a place where so many legendary moments happened in history. You know what I mean? To have the opportunity to perform with Grizzle Grind, someone with people who are so good at what they do. You know what I mean? To even be part of that circle, and to actually have so many experiences that so many of the average people don't get to. Even something as small like being backstage right before a show, feeling that adrenaline that you'll never get anywhere else. Feeling that high after a performance. Is when I think about moments like that, it makes me feel better. Like, whoa, like shit, my 20s were dope.
Yeah.
So now if ever the time comes where I'm gonna tell these stories to my kids, I'll make sure they think that their dad was the shit. You know what I mean? But it didn't necessarily feel that way at the time. Right. So I think if there's one lesson that I want to take away from my 20s is, as we've heard it ad nauseum, as many times as people have said it, is to be aware of the moment, to live in the moment, to really enjoy the process. But sometimes these are the kind of things you can't learn until you experience it.
Yeah.
Right? It's when it comes to human emotion, lessons aren't learned through the brain. Does it make sense? Like I can tell you, don't be sad. But it's not something you can learn until you actually go through an experiences where you have to, practice learning how to be happier, learning how to live in that moment, right?
So you basically you think this is sad. Where do you experience this? Which is like even more sad,
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah.
Like I mean, long story short, to sum it up, live in the
Emotional
moment.
bicep curl.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if it says like apparent as that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I don't want to make that mistake where, whatever happens in my 30s, like I don't want to feel shitty about it as I'm going through it. I don't want to have to spend my 40s looking back in my 30s and like, oh shit, my life was good. I want to know that I want to start feeling that my life is good right now as I'm going through it. Yeah. And this is something that I strongly believe in, is that our best days are still ahead of us,
Yeah.
right? No matter how many years has passed, how many decades have gone through, like our best days are really still ahead of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
And you can only enjoy those best days if you are still healthy, right? If you're
Yeah, that's true, man.
not
That's
healthy,
how
you can't do shit, man.
Yeah, right. And now it's like in our 20s, it's not something we think about, right? But now now we understand health is wealth. At the end of the day, like,
Yeah.
yeah, man.
Do you know this Brian Johnson guy?
Oh, the billionaire. Is it billionaire, right?
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
trying to doing everything.
To live
To make-
forever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I don't know. Some of the protocols are quite interesting, like don't eat a certain hours before you sleep kind of things. I don't know. Do you like follow any of it or not?
I don't know if I want to live.
That long?
Yeah, man. I mean, like, sometimes the best part of the story is the ending, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and knowing that there's an ending.
Like during season 5 of Game of Thrones,
Yeah, which is like, on that topic, there's a new term that I read off, like, it's this book by, have you heard of Yuval Noah Harari? Homo Sapiens, the book Sapiens.
Okay, no.
Then the sequel to that book, Sapiens, is basically a brief history of civilization.
Like Homo sapiens sapiens.
Yeah, like how did we evolve? How did cities form?
Yeah.
Currency. And then the sequel to that book is Homo Deus, which is God in the machine. So he talks about the future of humanity, right? So one of the concepts that he discussed in the book is called immortality, which is in the absence of blunt force trauma. Let's say you don't get into an accident, you're not murdered, you can live forever by, one of the things he discussed that I remember is, let's say they can replace your organs every, let's say 20 years,
Yeah.
right? They can replace your skin after let's say your entire human body can be replaced, so you technically live forever.
Yeah.
The only thing that can end it is if you get into an accident or in a disaster.
Yeah.
Like it affects how you live.
Because you got so much more time.
Yeah, if you can live forever and the only thing that can stop you from living is like an external force, wouldn't you be forced to like, oh, I'm just gonna stay at home because I don't want to die,
Yeah.
right? It also kind of affects the quality of life you have as much as you have the quantity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in that sense, after I read it, it's like, I want to live long enough to maybe see my kids achieve something. But I don't think I want to live too long where they have to take care of me or where they have to struggle.
Yeah. There's a phrase, right? Like live long enough to become like you either live as a hero or
live long enough to become the villain.
Yeah,
man. One of the best movie quotes ever.
Yeah. But it's so true, man. Like, I don't know, the more you live, the more sustenance you need. And then the more ways you need to find money. And money is the root of all evil.
But for you, though, let's say, like that's, just to add on to that, is like, that's why I'm so grateful for my dad, that he's, at this age, he's so healthy. You know what I mean? Like my dad cycles a lot. Like he can't go a day without cycling around. He keeps himself healthy. I know he's doing it, he's doing it for himself primarily, but I think it's not something that he would mention, but I also think that he's doing it for us, so that he doesn't have to, by him taking care of himself, he's giving my brother and I the opportunity to live our lives the best way we can.
Yes.
Yeah. So in that sense, like, my dad has set a good example for me in so many ways, but that's also one of the things that I'm learning from him, is like, I want to be as healthy as possible for the longest time possible, so that my kids will not have to worry about me. Before they're able to fully live, so they can live their lives to the fullest.
Back in the day, people born a lot of kids to help them work
That's
in
the whole
farm.
concept, yeah, right?
But now can AI already.
I mean, bro, we don't even know, like, as far as like our lives, how much is going to change, like the idea of being a content creator wasn't even a real job when we were in
Esports
school, right?
player,
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. So with technology advancing, we can only, like you mentioned earlier, to go by hypothesis, right?
Yeah.
But how long have we been going on?
2
hours?
Maybe 2.
Damn, man. Yeah, I see your podcast episodes, like.
3.5.
Damn, man.
Yeah, so Tang Lim Jin, general manager, is here, right? And then we do like 3.5 hours, right? And then at the side, there's an intern making cocktails and shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then, right, it's like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go toilet. You come in. Now you're the podcast. Then I start podcasting different people.
Damn, man. I mean, that's so fun, though. Like, your podcast is like,
dude.
Free format and like.
Yeah, we can order Grab now. We can have dinner,
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the other day was with the owner of Tanuki Raw. And then we have a sushi platter here, and then sake. We're like busy getting drunk and shit.
Yeah, that's so fun, though.
Yeah,
so it's really like.
Hang out, man.
Yeah, just friends hanging out, right?
Yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
But from like, from one human being to another, it's like, I know you're busy. You're so driven. How do you see your retirement? Do you even want to retire?
Probably not. I'm quite fascinated by the Japanese spirit of like non-retirement. Like,
what is that? What does your life look like in that sense?
As you get older, you can still do stuff, right? That because if you realize that the minds, right, of the Japanese elders, like they are damn sharp, At their old age, right, even though they cannot do physical stuff, but they are still out there helping the community in some way, maybe plant trees or whatever, that kind of stuff. Yeah, so if I don't really need to care about money, I'll just do whatever I want, but I will definitely crave to learn more.
But what do you think? Let's say, at what age do you see yourself like scaling back?
Well, I don't even know when it would. Will it even happen? I don't know, sir.
Man, you're like Vince McMahon. Still in WWE.
More, bro.
Like,
Well, now WWE and UFC like partnership or something, making it
right?
TKO or something, right?
Yeah,
crazy,
well, let's say
bro.
in like 40 years, like, how would an average day look like to you?
Wow, that's just something I never think about, man. It's a good exercise. The other day, we just had something funny. It's like, imagine, right, Singapore government give you infinite budget to become the best DJ in the world, right? How would you go about that?
Wow.
Right. This kind of like hypothetical thinking. Yeah, I love it, Maybe by then I'll have like grandkids and shit already.
So fatherhood is something that you are open to?
Yeah, I think so. Like at first when I was younger, I would say no, but as we get older, right, I guess that's the next thing to do, right? I don't actually know why I want to be a parent. Like,
okay.
I believe I can do a good job. Like many people tell me I can. I think I can because I can convey my information very well. So I think I can teach people well. Even though I hate teaching people, I like damn impatient, but I can teach
Oh, are
people.
you?
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Apparently.
Who said that?
I was like doing some like TA job in the university.
Oh,
right?
is it?
Yeah,
Oh, were you?
yeah.
During while you were still studying?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So then I guess having kids is not like out of the question, but I can't really say for sure why. Like, why do I want to have kids? You know, some people are like so passionate, they can give you like 20 reasons. Oh, you know, I want to help the future generation. No, I'm not so great, you know. I just think, okay, it's a possibility, you know. Let's just say if I have grandkids 40 years later, I probably be like I complete main quest now. I'm doing my side quest kind of mentality.
Oh, right. Yeah,
So it's
that's
like,
a
hey,
good way to put it.
you are studying biology. Okay, let me go study and I'll beat you. And then I'll just go learn biology and then you know, I'll challenge them. That kind of stuff.
By then you'd be in your new game plus. You finished and then you're just playing it through again.
Yeah. Maybe like achieve my 3rd degree or something just for fun. That kind of stuff, you know. Yeah. So because why, right? I saw when I was graduating from Singapore Polytechnic. On my graduating year, right, I'm electrical electronics engineering. Mechanical engineering, got one guy graduated same day as me, 64 years old.
Really?
Yeah. So I'm like, wow, that's like pretty cool,
so
man.
Inspiring though.
So if you like something and you want to go for it, just go for it, you know, irregardless of the age. Yeah. So I think that will be like my kind of mentality, right? It's like Gordon Ramsay, right? He already complete the main quest with you, like 23
Several
Michelin,
times, yeah,
23 Michelin star or something, right? So now he's helping people, you know, clean up their dirty kitchen and shit.
One Michelin is like people are happy, right? This guy has done it 23 times.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
So that kind of mentality, right? What about yourself?
How does retirement?
I feel like you're more zen, man, as compared to me. I'm like fucking chaotic.
I mean,
you
like,
know?
I think, yeah, I would say you're right. You're right about it. You know, like, I mean, it's a recent switch that I've had. Like, I think just a few months ago, I was like, oh shit, like I have all these plans, I have all these goals. You know, I want to be this and that.
Yeah.
You know, which I'm still working towards. And then when I think about like the simplicity of life appeals to me more and more as the days go by, as the years go by, especially like having come back from Bangkok recently.
Yeah.
And then
we met at the airport, damn it.
Oh yeah, bro. Yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah, so fucking random.
Yeah, but I'm glad it happened though. Now we're here.
Yeah. The Jetstar system freaking shut down, right?
Yeah.
Did you see the queue?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
So like having come back from the trip, I stayed in this boutique hotel, which is like, it's called Natanao. And then it's a family home.
Oh shit.
That they converted into like a hotel.
Yeah.
And it's very, you know, rustic, but at the same time, it's of course like contemporary. It's renovated, and you know, there's a certain homely feel to it. Even though I'm a guest at the house, but I feel like this is how I want my home to feel like.
Oh damn.
You know, and then at the same time, you know, not too far away from that place, there's this cafe called Foxhole. And then it's a quaint little cafe that the reason why it's called Foxhole is because you have to go through an alley to find it. You know, and it's nothing fancy. It's actually like very rustic. It's as independent as it looks. You know, and the owner opens and runs the shop himself.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like we came in before the cafe was open, and then we saw him. I didn't even know he was the owner because he looked so chill. Then he was slowly opening up the shop, and then you know I was just observing him, and at the same time it was what I was like. What I perceived from that is just the slowness of his life. You know what I mean? And then I spoke to him a little bit. Then he says he's been running it for 8 years, that kind of thing. But at the same time, he looks so relaxed and like chill, even though there were already people waiting for him to open.
Yeah.
You know? And then, I mean, he looks a little bit older than us, you know, but but that's seeing that, the simplicity, the slowness of his life is something that fascinated me recently, where when I think about my own vision for the future,
Yeah.
I want to open up a cafe too and just publish my magazine and have a bookshop. and then partner up with people that I'm close to. Like my girlfriend wants to open up her own boutique hotel, and then I have a friend who wants to open up a cafe, So I just want to, for me.
What's the difference between boutique hotel and normal hotel? What's the...
Wow, bro, I don't, a hotel probably.
Maybe more commercial.
Yeah, it's owned by a larger,
conglomerate.
A conglomerate. Then a boutique hotel is like independent, could be a cluster of owners.
Or maybe family owned or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And it feels that way. It feels more intimate. But I don't know what the exact terms are that differs, like
The
differentiates.
tier, right?
Yeah, a boutique hotel from
Right,
But when I see, maybe for one is the scale of it.
Right.
Yeah, so for me, I would want to spend the rest of my days like just running that cafe, running that bookshop, talking to people, photographing people, writing about them, At the same time, like we're never disconnected from the world because of like the fact that the internet is such a necessity to everything we do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at that age, I want to be in control of the pace of my life.
Right.
Without feeling like I'm compromising something. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm guessing for people like us, if we were right now at this age, I'd say, I want to take it easy. But we're still gonna feel like, shit, I'm being lazy. Like I'm sacrificing like my youthful energy, right? Even though we can relax, we can never feel like we can do it for too long.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh my God, every day, man.
Yes.
I feel guilty for resting, yeah.
Yeah, bro, I know what you mean. So in the future, whenever the idea of retirement for me is to just be in control of the pace of my life.
Yeah.
And what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think like when you're young, you should just do whatever you can when you're young. Like for example, right? A lot of us when we are young, we're so busy making money, right? That when we are old, right, we want to explore. We don't even have the energy to walk and explore.
Yeah.
So everything is moderation. We need to like enjoy a bit before when we get old, then we like regret.
Yeah.
And then when we no energy, our knees are aching.
Bro, yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's why like it's exactly the same sentiments that I have. That's why like I'm trying to run marathons now. Because I know if there's ever a time to do it, now is the best time to do it. Because it only gets harder in the future. But of course, there are people who have been running marathons all the way up into their 60s or 70s or even more.
Yeah.
Right? But if you want to get started.
Yeah, those people train their whole life,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was in my recent marathon.
What's marathon considered? 21 km and above?
That's half. 21 is half. Full marathon is 42.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So you did 42.
Since I think I want to join Stanchart again this year, so this would be my fourth one.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Holy shit!
But the crazy part is like last year, the person in front of me, her jersey said that I think I'm 70 years old and this is my 62nd or 53rd marathon.
Whoa!
So it means she runs. Up until this age, she runs several marathons a year.
Whoa.
You know what I mean? And then for me, it motivated me because like, holy shit.
You're on the back.
Yeah, man. Shame on me. Like I know it's not a race, but I was also curious to see what she looked like.
Yeah.
At that age to be that strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But of course, like, I just didn't want to be, I didn't want to keep looking at it and feel like, holy shit, I shouldn't be struggling this much. Because the fact that she was ahead of me means she was like, fitter.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, man.
Yeah. Wow. Very, very insightful episode, I must say. Like, it really like questions like what we want to do in future, questions our decision right now.
But, thanks for your time, bro. And I'm actually really happy that we finally got to sit down and to talk to someone who's of the same age.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because, our experiences have been alike.
Yeah, parallel in so many ways, man.
Yeah, bro. A lot of the time, like, even my colleagues are younger.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I just, it's rare that I even get to talk to someone that have shared a similar experience from in our 20s, you know what I mean? Like being in the music circuit and stuff like that. How do you maneuver the stage of adulthood?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Appreciate your time, bro.
Yeah, no, yeah. I really like the fact that we are very different in a way that you find solace, right, in introspection. Whereas for me, right, it's like if I cannot say my idea out to someone, if I cannot like bounce idea with someone, it frustrates me a lot, which is
Really?
how I gain like enlightenment by talking a lot of people. And I guess this podcast is like a natural thing for me, I guess. Since I'm already like annoying my family members, right, with work-related stuff, then they're like, no, it's enough. Yeah.
Your mind is always, you're the kind of person whose mind is always on overdrive.
Yeah. So, yeah, that led me to this conclusion, and yeah, great conversation for today.
Yeah, I mean, respect on the hustle, bro. More than 100 episodes, conversing with people who about so many the different facets of life, current affairs.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that you're able to accommodate them says a lot about you, man.
I'm just here listening. They are the one creating the content.
No, but you know, you're the common denominator between all of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. So thanks for your time. Like, I'm so glad. Like, I feel like this is the deepest conversation we've had for the past decade that we've known each other, bro.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, man.
I feel like this is very rewarding, like this form of content.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah, with like so many short form content right nowadays out there.
Yeah.
This is really the
And
best.
I'm sure, you know, whatever we've discussed, whatever you end up discussing with your guests, there's always an audience for it.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have to be as dramatic
yeah.
to be entertaining. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there are people like us out there that also want to learn.
Yeah. And we slowly are more and more inspired by the slowness of life.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we're programmed to live fast, right? And now we have to be proactive about how much we slow down and when is the right time to slow down. Yeah, man. But I guess, you know, the next time at the next episode, you know, we'd also be a lot wiser than we are today.
Yeah.
Right?
I really enjoy those podcasts with round 2 guests, you know. It's like I guess for people like Elon Musk, it's so easy to round 2, round 3, round 4 because every month he invents something new, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why he on Joe Rogan like 5 rounds or something in a year.
And he's controversial in so many ways, right?
Yeah.
But if ever, bro, when we return, let's do it with our friends.
Yeah.
You know, with Lyneth, you know, with Nash, with Jin.
Yeah.
Yeah, people that
Still remember the Nash episode? It's just a drinking episode, man.
Oh, is it? I mean, that's what you know.
Yeah.
That's how you guys bond. That's how DJs and musicians like,
Yeah.
you know, bring the best, get in their element of things, right? But yeah, the next time I get to return, I want to come back with our friends.
Yeah. And by the time your music is really released, then hopefully you can perform more.
Yeah, bro. I really look forward to seeing the evolution of Revelry, bro.
Yeah, and update me about your social content. How do you make content as an introvert? Wow, that's definitely
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, let's definitely we should talk more, bro.